Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to tell you a shocking and unbelievable story that has taken the internet by storm. A story about risk, instinct, timing, and the dangerous beauty of crypto trading. A story about a man named Nicolas Watson who earned $20,000 in just 3 hours. A story that sounds impossible but real enough to make your heart race. Nicolas Watson was not a billionaire, not a hedge fund manager, not a Wall Street prodigy. He was just a regular guy in his late 20s living in a small apartment, waking up every morning with a cup of cheap coffee and a phone full of charts, numbers, red candles, and green dreams. For years, Nicolas had watched others flex screenshots of profits on social media while he struggled with losses, sleepless nights, and self-doubt. But something about that particular morning felt different, as if the market itself was whispering his name. The sun had barely risen when Nicolas opened his trading app. His eyes still tired, but his mind unusually sharp, and there it was, a sudden spike in volume on a small, ignored crypto coin that most traders had written off as dead. But Nicolas didn't see death, he saw opportunity. He had learned the hard way that crypto rewards those who pay attention when everyone else is distracted. And as his fingers hovered over the screen, memories of past mistakes flashed through his mind. Trades entered too late, emotions overriding logic, fear forcing him to sell early, greed making him hold too long. This time he promised himself would be different. This time he would follow his plan no matter what his heart screamed. Nicolas checked the charts again, the 5-minute time frame, the 15-minute confirmation, the unusual liquidity pouring in like a silent flood. And then he saw it, the breakout pattern forming perfectly, almost too perfectly, as if someone had drawn it just for him. His heart started pounding, not with excitement, but with focus. A cold calm that only comes when preparation meets opportunity. He didn't go all in, he never did. Instead he entered with calculated risk, setting his stop-loss with discipline, whispering to himself that survival mattered more than profit. Minutes passed, then seconds felt like hours, and suddenly the price moved, slowly at first, teasing him, testing his patience, and then violently, exploding upward as if released from chains. Nicolas's screen turned green, numbers climbing faster than his mind could process. $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, and his breathing became shallow as he fought the urge to close the trade too early. He remembered every lesson the market had taught him through pain. Every night he had stared at the ceiling, questioning his choices, and he stayed in the trade. Messages started popping up in his private trading group, people asking if anyone was watching the same coin, confusion spreading, FOMO igniting, and with every new buyer jumping in, the price surged higher. Nicolas adjusted his stop-loss, locking in profits, protecting himself from a sudden reversal, because he knew the market could be cruel, turning heroes into victims in seconds. 30 minutes had passed, and his unrealized profit crossed $10,000, a number that felt surreal, almost fake, and for a moment he laughed, not out of joy but disbelief, because just weeks ago he had questioned whether trading was even worth it. The market, however, was not done with him yet. A sudden pullback hit, sharp and aggressive, shaking out weak hands, and Nicolas felt fear grip his chest as the price dipped dangerously close to his stop-loss. His finger hovered over the sell button, sweat forming on his palms, his mind screaming to take the money and run, but his analysis told him this was a healthy retracement, not the end. He closed his eyes for a second, took a deep breath, and trusted his system. As if rewarding his discipline, the price bounced back with even more strength, breaking previous resistance like it never existed, and that was the moment Nicolas realized this trade was special. He scaled out partially, securing profits, and let the rest ride, something he had rarely done before because fear had always controlled him. Now fear was still there, but it was quiet, sitting in the corner, watching as confidence took the driver's seat. 2 hours into the trade, the profit counter crossed $15,000, and Nicholas leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling, thinking about how one decision, one moment of clarity, could change everything. He thought about his parents who had doubted his obsession with charts, his friends who told him crypto was gambling, the nights he skipped outings to study market structure, and for the first time it all felt justified. The market, however, has no mercy for emotions, and just when Nicholas allowed himself to smile, volatility exploded again, price swinging wildly, up and down, hunting stops, creating chaos. Experienced traders know this phase well. It's where fortunes are made and destroyed, and Nicholas knew he had to act with precision. He tightened his stop-loss again, not too close, not too far, respecting the volatility while protecting his gain. Then it happened. A massive buy wall appeared, pushing the price up in a near-vertical move, and Nicholas watched in shock as his profit jumped to $20,000 in just under 3 hours. His hands were shaking now, not from fear, but from the realization that he was living a moment he had dreamed about for years. He closed the trade completely, not out of panic, but satisfaction, knowing that greed had ruined many traders who tried to squeeze every last dollar from a move. The moment the trade closed, the price dumped hard, proving that his timing had saved him from disaster, and Nicholas sat there in silence, listening to the hum of his computer, his heart slowly returning to normal. $20,000 earned in 3 hours, not by luck alone, but by patience, discipline, and respect for the market. He didn't jump up and celebrate. He didn't post screenshots online. Instead, he opened his journal and wrote down every detail of the trade, the entry, the emotions, the mistakes he almost made, because Nicholas understood that one win doesn't make a trader, consistency does. Later that day, as the adrenaline faded, he went for a walk, watching the city move around him, people rushing to jobs they hated, unaware that somewhere someone had just changed their financial trajectory in a single morning. Nicholas knew this story could inspire others, but he also knew the danger of romanticizing trading, because for every success story, there are countless silent failures. This trade didn't make him invincible. It didn't guarantee future success, but it gave him something more valuable than money, proof that his effort wasn't wasted, that discipline could beat doubt, and that patience could be rewarded. That night, as he lay in bed, Nicholas didn't dream of Lambos or luxury. He dreamed of charts, of calm decisions, of long-term growth, because deep down he understood that the real victory wasn't the $20,000. It was mastering himself in the face of chaos. This fictional story of Nicolas Watson is not about getting rich quick. It's about preparation meeting opportunity, about respecting risk, and about the thin line between courage and recklessness, a line that every trader must learn to walk alone. If you enjoyed this story and felt the tension, the fear, and the triumph, remember that markets are unpredictable, emotions are dangerous, and discipline is everything, so stay patient, stay focused, and keep learning. Thanks for watching.